In this video, I am going to be going through how you should be using the Cryomancer in a pretty high level game of Dungeonborne. So the gear score in these matches is more than 20 for the most part, so we're probably in like the higher up bracket for the matchmaking range. So we're going against people that also have like very solid stuff on. Now I haven't been rolling like a madman to get a life on hit, which I know is broken right now, but I don't actually have any of that on me. I'm just playing like a regular Cryomancer with just decent gear. So we hear these people teammate fireballs, I try use my frostbite curse on one of them, they ice, and then I simply go next to them and hold out the lightning staff because they gotta come out at some point. I use that, teammate fireballs, they actually get a kill with that. I put my frostbite curse on the other person, and now I'm just gonna try and finish them off with the staff. Teammate fireballs, and then they are going to be dead. So my teammate is playing Pyromancer, and Pyroblast is very, 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 very powerful when you're also just on corners. In that fight, you know, put the frostbite curse on someone as soon as you possibly can. You should always start off the fight with the frostbite curse if you can. Follow up with whatever staff you want, a staff if you're choosing, or a sword if you have that on. You can use that too to slow enemies down, to make it easier to hit them with the staff, and so on. But always start the fight off with the frostbite curse. Once an enemy is down, immediately put the frostbite curse on the other one. And if someone ices, then just whip out a lightning staff or something similar and be ready to use that. This is the same game, and we were aware that there are people to our left because we do get pyroblasted by a fireman, a pyromancer. I'm not too sure but why, but I really didn't take much damage from that, so I must have good stuff on, or maybe they have a bad staff, I'm not too sure. But now we were aware that there is a pyromancer over here, as well as I believe a death knight, because I think my teammate almost got grabbed a second ago. So I'm trying to see if the range of this frostbite curse is far enough for me to put it on them. It's not teammates tries to get grabbed, but they don't get grabbed, so that's fortunate. Teammates just like using mana potions and stuff, I think, and they're also using Fire Blast. I get a nice Thunderclap Flask here because the plan is to push down, use the Frostbite Curse, and then maybe back away. But they kind of stay up on that little ledge, so now I don't feel like I need to push away. I am aware of the Pyromancer. I thought I would have a second charge of that lightning staff. I don't. Map knowledge is always super important. Instead of going all the way around, I can just appear here, and I can get some good damage done on this part. Instead, use the Frostbite Curse again because I think it had worn out from before when I used it on the other one. So I'm using that. They do use a stone shaping flask, meaning one of them is low. I know they're going to be in this corner, so I try using that. They're going to grab me in a second, I think. I've got the potion out because I want to drink that as soon as possible. I want that to be kicking in. And then I'm probably going to I'm just going to shoot at them. Teammate has a nice vantage point right here. Always use that Frostbite Curse. You always want that to be active. One of them is dead, and now they are both down. So that was a fight that just went really, really, really smoothly. We had a pretty nice position. They were trying to push into a position that was pretty bad for them. And again, you always want that Frostbite Curse to be going as much as possible. If it runs out, you gotta use it again. If it's about to run out, even, you can probably use it then as well. It's not as ideal, but, you know, that's okay. I didn't actually use my ice in that fight because I simply didn't really need to. I was just saving that as a kind of backup plan. And I finished that fight with, like, more than half of my, well, about half of my soul energy as well. So that just went super well. Maintain good positioning when you have it. So we were both kind of higher up, which is pretty nice, and so we were just maintaining that. At this point, we do see people down below, but my teammate needs mana potions. They don't have any mana potions, they don't have much mana, so we figure we're gonna loot these people for their mana potions, because one of them was a caster, so that's what my teammate is doing. I gotta loot this purple person down here, and originally I think I see a person, but then I think it's just an axeman, so I'm just opening up my inventory here because I want this juicy loot, and what's gonna happen is these people are going to come very, 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 very close to us at some point, so I guess I'll just skip to that. So right about here, I think I start hearing the people. I'm telling my teammate they're in front on comms, and then I just use my Frostbite Curse. Teammate's ready with a fireball. I tell them they go down and left. I ping it. They use the fireball. I don't think they hit it, which is a little bit unfortunate. I can still see the Frostbite procking on that person. And then I kind of want to go and find a portal. I'm not too sure how much I want to fight these people because I don't exactly know what's up. And also, I'm very aware that there isn't much time. So the thing for this clip is to not get tunnel vision. I know there's not much time. This is the second last ring. And if the time expires on the map, you just die. You just lose. You lose all your stuff and you don't get anything. You don't exfil, right? So it's like just dying regularly. You just don't get anything. So you have to make sure the timer doesn't expire because it's very unforgiving. So I just pop that portal open in case one of us needs it later on. And then I double lightning the staff this night because I don't want this here. And I'm just looking around in this room quickly for a portal, but there isn't one. So, like, you have to exfil the game to win, right? So just always pay attention to the time. Anyway, I'm gonna Frostbite Curse that person. I get a nice Pyro Staff, get another nice Pyro Staff. They're just dead. Did a lot of damage with the Fire Staff there, and it's only a green one, I think. And then also Frostbite Curse just does a lot of damage over time. There was a second person. I'm not too sure where they were. Is my teammate fighting them? Am I just looting while my teammate is fighting them? I think my teammate killed them. There's nothing in the chat. I think my teammate was fighting something. Did my teammate kill them? I think my teammate killed one of them and I killed the other one. I think that's what happened there. Not too sure. You'd have to look at you'd have to watch it back, but I could only see one person there, but there definitely may have been two. Anyway, there's not much time on the clock here. Teammate is looting, that's fine. I'm gonna try and pop open 2 portals. I'm gonna really quickly get rid of the skeleton because I'm very wary of the time here. And don't get tunnel vision. You can very easily get tunnel vision on like fighting those people right at the start instead of opening the first kind of urgent portal that I opened. I actually don't end up using that because there are 2 here. But at the end of this game, there's really not a whole lot of time left, and we are both going to safely exfil. I'm just going to hop out here. Teammate's going to hop out as well. And we're going to exfil with, like, really not that much time left in the match. So always, no matter the situation, pay attention to, like, your surroundings and just how much time is actually left on the clock as well. So we're just fighting some regular enemies and just clearing a room here. When we hear people to the left, I ping the door, I let my teammate know, and they just start coming through. The Cryomancer whiffed their Ice Storm there. They obviously tried to like get it going before the door opened and then make it come outside the door and activate as their teammate was opening the door. That didn't work very well for them. Teammate comes out because I think they wanted to they wanted their cooldown on their not their Fire Blast, but the other one, their E ability. They wanted the cooldown on their E ability. So we backed out of the room there. Push back in. I Frostbite Curse, teammate Fireballs, Iceman goes into their Ice Block. I was Lightning Staffing as well. I throw a Thunderclap Flask because I didn't want them to push, and then they push. I just go into Ice. Teammate gets very, very low, then they use their E. This person is probably going to try and back out. I think I cancel the Ice Block. Frostbite Curse, always have that active on something during a fight if you can. Don't use it too much, but you want to generally have it active. I don't know where the second person went here. I was a little bit confused. Teammate backs out because I think they started getting low. I feel like I'm pretty confident being able to take this 1v1, so I just do that. I use my Frostbite Curse. I back out a little bit, threw a Thunderclap Flask, and they say were following me. They weren't following me. I think a teammate Fireballs, and then I think they just die to my Frostbite Curse, so that's nice. And I think that's actually it for this fight. I think their teammate just kind of left, but what's going to happen is their teammate is going to kind of circle round back to them, and they're going to try and res them, so I'm going to skip to when that occurs. I think this is the same fighter from before. We both see them. Teammate is charging up their Fireball. I charge up the Frostbite Curse. I activate that. Teammate does the Fireball. They're going to be super low from just that alone. That's already like 400 damage, so they're probably going to be pretty low. Again, I just activate the Frostbite Curse because I want that extra bit of initial damage, and I'm not too worried about running out because I did also just run into a couple of bodies, so I might as well use that Frostbite Curse, and then I think my teammate just kills him with the Fireball right there, and they're just dead. So if you're in a situation where you're like about to run into bodies, you can use the Frostbite Curse multiple times, so you get lots of damage on the initial hit, and that initial hit of the Frostbite Curse is also going to be enhanced by one of your passives, so you can kind of aim for that playstyle if you so choose. In this final clip, we hear people to the right, so we're kind of expecting to go to the right here, and then we see people really, really far ahead. So there are 2 separate teams here, because that's a duo. There's a duo somewhere to the right of us, so we do have to watch out for that. And we actually look through that door there, so I recognize that's where they were. So we do get a little bit lucky that we don't get third party here. I thought about like hiding at that door and letting these 2 teams fight it out. Then my teammate calls out that they've actually fireballed both of the enemies twice, so I figure we might as well just push. So I'm holding a healing potion to push as quickly as possible. I'm just gonna tank that Swordmaster hit. I am popping a healing potion, turning back a little bit. I can always ice if I need to because I knew that healing potion, that Swordmaster wasn't gonna one-shot me or 4-shot me. So I want to get a Frostbite Curse on this person. I try firing a little bit, but my teammate gets in the way, so I missed that. That's okay. Teammate is still pushing. I'm going to try and get a little bit of fire damage on this person. I think I do actually end up finishing them off with that. There is an enemy on my teammate, so I'm just going to Frostbite Curse that person. I do end up getting that. I don't think it was even yellow when I used it. I think I actually just used it a really good time. I just lightning where he's moving towards, and I think my teammate finishes them off there. So Frostbite Curse, and don't sleep on your staffs. Your staffs do a whole lot of damage as well. Especially if you've got like certain like bonuses on them that increase the damage, obviously, and depending on what passives you use as well. The staffs can be very, very powerful. Actually, I don't know what I'm talking about. The passives don't affect the staffs at all for the Cryomancer. Never mind. But if you've got the bonuses on the staffs are very, very, very powerful, and they're going to have more range than your Frostbite Curse as well. So do be aware of that. You can like snipe someone with a staff further than you can hit them with a Frostbite Curse. So, but Frostbite Curse also is very, very, very good at just telling where someone is. You can see around corners and stuff like that. That's gonna have happened a couple of times in this video. I would have the Frostbite Curse on someone, and I'd like see them around a corner because the numbers were showing up, and then I'd just be able to finish them off pretty easily. So yeah, there you go. For all of those matches, aside from one of them, I was going in with no passives activated, and I was going in with like a green fire staff and a purple thunder staff, and that was my loadout. And then in one of them I had this exact loadout, so purple fire staff, purple thunder staff, and the only passive I had activated was will, because I found that to be most useful. But this is by no means like a broken build where you have like you stack all of the life on hits and then you use the Frostbite Curse. I'm just using Frostbite Curse because I feel like that's more useful in duos than it is in solos, and I actually think Ice Storm is going to be better in solos. So yeah, I'm just cycling through my equipment here so you can see I didn't have anything broken on, and neither did my teammate. They had a pretty normal loadout as well, and we were just able to win a lot of fights with 31 gear score. I probably had something more like, I don't know, like 26 or something, because this was green instead of purple. But we had like a high gear score, and this is on Clozo Castle, the 3-star one, the highest one we could do. And we won a lot of fights like this, so I definitely think the Cryomancer is pretty powerful. The Frostbite Curse is just really, really, really good, and it's absolutely broken if you pair it with life on hit. I mean, I might make a video on that at some point. I feel like it would be a little bit cheesy, and I simply don't know how much I want to try and roll for it. But right now, just like the base Cryomancer without any of the broken stuff on it is still just a very, 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 very solid class that is like very, very, very good in PvP, even without the life on hit HP regeneration paired with the Frostbite Curse tactic, shall we say. So yeah, there you go. You definitely can be effective as a Cryomancer, even in higher tier lobbies, if you don't have the life on hit stuff. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be it for this video. If you'd like to leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Farewell.